Hi guys, so I am trying to get my presentation to load for us. So the concept I used is learning or concept maps, and you're going to have to bear with me. I've never used this screencastify thing before, so I'm trying it for the very first time. Learning or concept maps is something I use often in my classroom. As you can see right here, here's an example of one for the American Revolution. A learning map or a concept map, I call them concept maps personally, takes the big ideas, such as the American Revolution, and helps students break it down into parts. So, for example, this one has been taken down to people, dates, and chronology. So, what's the point? This comes from Jim Knight's The Impact Cycle. I took it directly from there. This is a instructional strategy from his playbook. So, learning maps are powerful because their visual depiction of a unit keeps students and teachers on track. The map is an accommodation for students who struggle to take notes, and it structures the beginning and ending of a lesson. And learning maps are living study guides that make connections explicit and support repeated review. So it's an excellent tool to use in your classroom. I highly suggest you use them if you haven't used them before. So how are they used? Teachers should introduce the map prior to instruction and use the map as a talking point to a pre-teaching discussion. So there are two ways to do this. You can either pre-make the map, fill in the blank style for your students where you have the circles and the stars and all of the other doodads like this one does, the Rubicons or the rhombuses. That's what they're called. They're not called Rubicons. That's something completely different. Please ignore that I just said that. But it has the images already written on it. You could provide it that way. Or sometimes I provide a blank piece of paper and ask my students to come up with the shapes and things themselves. But either way, the concept of the map should be introduced prior to instruction. Time should be spent with the map before it is filled out to ensure student understanding and allow familiarity with the map. I usually spend about 15 to 20 minutes in direct instruction or discussion prior to allowing my students to use the map. I want to make sure that they understand what the map is for before they even touch the map. The map should be constantly referenced throughout the unit. It can be used as a note-taking device. It can be used as a check for understanding. It can be used, I sometimes use it as a quiz at the end of a lesson, or there's a number of other ways to use a concept map, but it should not sit on the corner of the desk until the end of instruction and just thrown in the backpack at the end of the day. As teachers, we need to prompt the students to complete and organize their thoughts through the concept map. Students should be recording information in the map as they learn it, not just at the end. So I really like to utilize this as a check for understanding, or sometimes I utilize it as a quiz in the middle of the lesson. This really helps me understand where the students are at with their knowledge. So how do I make a concept map? There's a great little video. I'm not going to play it for you, but it's got great little steps. It's got 7 steps. So it's ranging all the way from step number 1 is main topic to step number 7, ask yourself what you've done. So this is a great visual for you. I highly suggest you watch it. I think it's about 2.5 minutes long. There are a number of different ways to make a concept map. I don't think there's any right or wrong way to make a concept map. Personally, I think that there are lots of different options, and I'm going to show you a number of them here. Here are some resources for you. I have them hyperlinked in the presentation for you, so you can click on them. I will also link them in my post directly. The first is from Rubicon.com. It just says a learning map connects instructional planning and student learning. It's going to help you learn a little bit more. It also references Jim Knight and how he talks about learning maps. The second is Corwin.com. It's chapter 4 of a Knight book. It actually goes into the specifics of what a learning map is. I've also got an example of some concept maps for you here. I don't know if it's going to let me show them to you. Nope, it's not going to let me show them to you. I'm sorry, I'm still learning how to use this thing. So it is going to, oh no, where did my slide? Oh, there it is. This is from BYU, the School of Education at BYU. It's also going to, I don't know what it's, there we go. Let's see if I can do this. There we go. Here we go. So here are some other examples of concept maps for you. These have to do with the war in Iraq. So these are some examples from BYU. We've also got, let me see if I can make this work. I'm really trying to make this work. I apologize, guys, if this is all over the place for you, but I'm trying something new, learning something new. as I go. Here's another example for us. This is an interactive concept map over the American Revolution. It's got videos and things attached to it using a website called Mindomo. I highly suggest, if you've never checked out Mindomo, that you do it. It's an excellent resource to use. And I also suggest you use a website called canva.com. It's another online resource maker that I highly, highly suggest. It's good for concept maps. It's good for all sorts of things, presentations, poster making, flip books. It's got all sorts of stuff on it. And last but not least, we've got a site called A Night Education with the concept map. Let me see if I can pull it up for you. All right, this is what it looks like. Another causes of the American Revolution. I don't know if you've caught a trend. I'm quite fond of the American Revolution. I'm a history teacher, so I hope you guys caught on to that. Let's see if I can bring myself back. Here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is all that I've got for you regarding concept maps and learning maps. I hope you learned something, and I hope that I was able to help you. If you want any more information, if you go to page 193 in the impact cycle, this also has information on the learning maps. I took some of the information from this page for my presentation, so some of it will be a repeat for you, but there's also a collection of checklists for before, after, and during the use of the learning map that I think are really helpful. So pages 194 through, it looks like 195. So thank you guys so much. I hope that this video isn't too horribly nail on the chalkboard for you to watch because I've never used this application before. So thanks for sticking it out with me. I appreciate it.